We spend hundreds, even thousands of dollars on the most refined products of civilization. But among all that shine, there is always one wrinkled, uninvited guest that falls out. It is not beautiful. It cannot be eaten. And it always carries a warning that feels almost threatening. Do not eat. Think of this tiny packet as a kind of insurance tax for dryness. It is the silent bodyguard, standing watch over a journey of tens of thousands of miles, from the factory floor to your hands. So why, in an age of smart materials, are we still using a technology from the First World War? And if you accidentally swallow it, is that the end? The truth is not really about whether it is poisonous or not. It lies in a miraculous physical structure that the naked eye will never see. Welcome to Everyday Things Explained. The labeled fear. Our instinct usually assumes one thing. If something says you must not eat it, then it must be poison. But chemically speaking, silica gel or silicon dioxide is basically sand. A kind of sand that has been processed to become extremely porous and completely chemically inert. The warning "do not eat" is not really aimed at the chemical inside. It is aimed at its unusual physical state. Silica gel is extremely water-hungry. If you accidentally put a handful of these beads into your mouth, it will not poison your blood. Instead, it may pull moisture directly from the place it touches, causing dryness, irritation, discomfort, and more importantly, a choking risk, especially for small children. Companies print such threatening labels simply because they want to avoid lawsuits over physical discomfort or choking accidents involving young children. The moisture magnet. The most important mechanism of silica gel is adsorption, not absorption. What is the difference? A sponge works by absorption. It draws water deep into the body of the material. Silica gel does not work that way. It holds water molecules. By letting them cling to its internal surfaces, the water becomes trapped inside millions of tiny folds and microscopic labyrinths lining the inside of that solid bead. Here is a number that may surprise you. 1 gram of silica gel is only about the size of a small teaspoon, but the total internal surface area of all those pores can spread out to the equivalent of 800 square meters. That is why one tiny packet can keep an entire shoebox dry through 6 long months drifting at sea. The logic of choice. So, why silica gel? The world is not short of stronger desiccants. Calcium chloride, for example. But silica gel wins because it solves a strict economic equation. Cheap, inert, and absolutely not leaky when it is full. Other moisture-absorbing salts, once saturated with water, turn into a sticky puddle of liquid, which can damage the very shoes they were supposed to protect. Silica gel, meanwhile, stays dry on the outside, no matter how much water its inner world is holding. Industrial inertia also plays a huge role. Since the 1920s, it has been trusted for filtering gases in gas masks during the First World War. Changing a global packaging standard would cost far more than simply continuing to produce billions of these tiny paper packets every year. The impostors. However, not every do not eat packet is the same. This is the part you should pay special attention to. Blue desiccant beads often contain cobalt chloride, a color indicator that shows whether the beads are saturated with water or not, but one that also carries a cancer risk. When fully hydrated, it changes from blue to pink. If you see this type inside packaging, dispose of it carefully and keep it far away from food. By contrast, orange beads that use iron salts are safer. But ideally, you should always prioritize the naturally white type. And whatever the type, the rule never changes. Do not eat it. Do not tear the packet open. And keep it away from children and pets. Revival and uses. The next time you open a box, do not throw those packets away. Throwing them out immediately may be a little wasteful. Silica gel itself can be reused many times if dried properly, though the paper packet or the indicator inside may degrade over time. And reviving it is extremely easy. Dry it in an oven at around 100 to 120 degrees Celsius for 1 to 2 hours. The moisture will evaporate out of the nano labyrinths and the beads will be ready for a new mission. You can place them inside an old photo box to prevent mold, or toss them into a gym bag to reduce odors caused by built-up humidity. They can even protect important documents from a humid tropical climate, the #1 enemy of paper and leather goods. Looking back at the tiny packet, the next time a small packet falls out, do not see it as toxic trash. See it as a cheap nano-engineering wonder, a proof of how humans have domesticated moisture to connect the flow of global trade. But did you know? There is another objective and more familiar, found in almost every kitchen, yet built on a logic that feels completely backwards. It is the microwave oven, the thing that does not heat food from the outside in, as we often mistakenly believe. We will decode it in the next episode. Anyway, at least silica gel is honest. It tells you directly not to eat it. Thank you for exploring ordinary things in an extraordinary way. See you again on Everyday Things Explained.